Shannon, get up. It's good this morning.
Yep. Oh, snap. Yeah, there's no way this is gonna look good in a low resolution quality photo. Yeah, that's pretty much me most mornings anyway. So just quickly getting my brows over with, just a very quick whip off the brows. I didn't really bother with obviously a full face of makeup. So just making sure that I got brows on because I don't want the parents to squeak, especially the mother. So also just checking on some moisturizer because everyone has like a little bit of dry skin in the morning, so if you don't really have time to necessarily wash your face, and just quickly check on some coconut oil or whatever your choice of moisturizer is. So giving my hair a brief brush through and then going through and sectioning the bottom half of my hair out the way, the top hair of my hair out the way I meant, pinning that in place just for now whilst I twist this up just so I can pin it up against my hair, because the bottom half of the hair will always get into the most tangles. So if you pin this back first and then go in with the extensions, you should have less massive trouble. So I did already pre-curl my extensions using a heatless method, basically just very minimally hosing my extensions down to a damp touch. I did actually over dampen without realising, so that's why they don't look that curly. But basically with my curly hairs I had in my blindfolded hair dyeing challenge video, with the curls that I had there, I basically just soaked, here we go again, I dampened my extensions down just a little bit, made sure that the water was nice and spread through, and then I pin curled but just laying the extensions on a towel so they could sit in place. I wasn't pinning them or anything, but basically the same ideal concept as pin curls. So I just let them dry for a couple of hours, and that's how I got this curly texture. So now hopping over to the bathroom and plugging into the wall, letting my barrel heat up a little bit while heat protecting my hair, and then going through and just adding tiny little curls just around the surface of my hair, just so it blends in seamlessly with the extensions. So this was basically the first hair hack, basically clipping in extensions if you don't already have long hair and you want to have long hair and your extensions are already curly. Just match your own surface hair, like the top layers, with the rest of your hair, and then you have nice seamless blended curls. So for the second hack, I am basically just parting my hair down the middle, but then again slightly off to the sides, clipping in my extensions. I'm clipping in a 3-clip weft on this side because otherwise a 4-clip would just be too long and too much. So adding a 3-clip on this side, then adding 1 single weft because I actually lost the 4th single weft down the drain. Don't ask. So once that is sorted out, I'm then going to quickly plug in. I'm going to quickly clip in the 4-clip weft on this side, as well as the other 2 single wefts, just for a little bit more of fullness towards the bottom. If you're not necessarily a fast braider, then just 2 simple pigtail braids will do you just fine. As you can see, I did leave a little bit of face framing hairs and just held it in my mouth just for the time being whilst I braided down a few inches. And then once that was sorted, I just adjusted around any wefts that were still showing. Then I braided down regularly, just a regular 3-strand braid, nothing too fancy. This is pretty good, especially if you are really crunched for time. You want something cute, but something out of the way, and just a few face framing layers, because I know that not all hair being pinned back suits a lot of people or feel very comfortable with it. So leaving out a few face framing pieces, and then it was out of frame at this point, but I was pancaking the ends just a little bit so that the braid was a lot more seamless and in unison or whatever. Then obviously securing off with an elastic, and then I got started on the other side, obviously doing the exact same thing. Basically I was also picking up a fresh elastic, so basically kicking out some excess hair that I wanted to leave out for some face framing pieces. I was doing my best to sort of match up both sides, but of course one side is a lot heavier with hair than the other. So once again, just doing a regular 3-strand braid, but this is only if you're not too fast of a braider or you don't really have time to do a French or Dutch braid. On the other hand, if you do have some time to spare, you can go in with a Dutch or French braid. I just prefer Dutch braid because that makes the braid pop and stand out some more. Plus it is also much easier to hide the wefts, especially if you have extensions in, obviously. I'm personally going in with the Dutch braid, like I said, but you can go in with whatever kind of braid you like if you have the time to spare, and if you're not particularly a parent, then you definitely have time to spare. That's basically what I'm doing here, just for another less time consuming hack. So for the next hack in line, I am scooping all of my hair back. I don't really care if it's too smooth or not. Basically, I'm just pinning it up into a high pony, as high as I can get it, of course. Then obviously securing off with a hair tie. This hair tie happens to be soaked in coconut oil, so the little tiny part of my hair gets a little bit of nourishment. So taking some extensions, I'm taking the 4-clip weft first and just pinning it around the perimeter of the hair tie and as close to the base of it as I possibly can. And then going in with a 3-clip weft next, or another 4-clip weft, so 2 4-clip wefts and 1 3-clip weft when I'm done struggling to clip these in. Also, the other thing I am making sure to do is make sure that the extensions are nicely and evenly spread across the ponytail, so they're not sitting split across the ponytail. Then in between the wefts, or the the base of the ponytail, I am adding a single weft just for more fullness. So 2 of the single wefts in between the layers of my ponytail, and then the third, because I've only got 3 now, but the third wrapped around the base of it. And then I am grabbing extra sections from the ponytail and wrapping that around the ponytail. I do wish I had brought the ponytail up just a little bit higher, but still, I liked how it came out. It's supposed to look like a hair hack, like something you can do in a rush, but it still looks good. So it doesn't necessarily need to look perfect. So that is the ponytail done. So leaving the ponytail exactly the way it is, I am wrapping around the base of it just to create some sort of a messy bun. I admit I did struggle with this a little bit. The bun kept falling loose and floppy and just looking completely disheveled. I mean, it's not supposed to look perfect, but it is supposed to look a little bit well kept. So basically just arranging it the way I like it and the way it looks good-ish to the naked eye. Then pinning it in place twice, one through the actual main security and the second time around the side, as you see in a second now, right here. So I pinned it down twice and that was the bun done. You can leave tendrils left out, but I have so much breakage around my hairline, so apparently I pinned it 3 times. So that is officially the top knot bun done, and that's a perfect parent hairstyle. So now going in with what I like to call, or I was thinking of this hairstyle name as I was doing my hair, the Hailey Reese hairstyle. I watch a lot of Hailey Reese on YouTube. She's just a YouTuber who talks a lot about her house hauntings and any other story across the internet. Basically, when she's wearing her hair slicked back, she has tendrils facing her face, but then the back of it pulled into the ponytail or some sort of a very smooth, sleek bun. In this case, I just did a chignon, basically like a 2-second done chignon. So any loose parts of my bun that didn't quite fold over properly, I'm just basically using that, including the ends of the ponytail, wrapping it around just to disguise the hair tie and then pinning that in place, and that is pretty much my Hailey Reese hair done. So this is another perfect parent hairstyle, but I'm not a parent, but I can almost understand the rush hour and they need to look good for photos, but not caring too much about how the hair looks as long as it's out of the way and looking somewhat chic. Last but no means least, the last hairstyle is I'm loosening all my hair, as you can obviously see, leaving out some face framing layers as you can also see, and then just grabbing some side pieces and just pinning them back, so my hair is somewhat pinned back but also face framing my face, and then let out loose. Depending on the weather, of course, you might want to have your hair pinned back, but for America, obviously you want your hair down because it's cold. For Australia, we're in summer, so even hair up is nice because it gets really hot and sticky. So this is now the final hairstyle. So that was all of my hair hacks that I have personally thought of. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this video and each of these hairstyles and give at least one of them a try. Thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all for the new year, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and for my future videos. Ciao!